Hello?
Actually, we gotta get this. It's not even connecting now. It's just connected.
No, only on my Verizon. I do the AT&T phones just aren't doing it. The
All right.
iPad, every
It's
iPad's
not strong enough
stand.
to go live. All right, you figure that out. We're getting ready to go live. 1, 2, 1, 2. Ready?
Yep.
1, 2. Hey, this is muted. It's still.
Why is it not
Okay,
authentic?
we gotta go in 3, 2, 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Epic Sports Radio, coming to you live from Tracy, California, at the Grant Bar and Lounge. I am here with my co-host and compadre, Sean Allen, a.k.a. Sean Allen. And we'd like to, first off, thank to our gracious host, DJ, the owner of the Grant Bar and Lounge. And also I'd like to give a shout out to George Ramonsky, one of our sponsors in Sacramento, California, mortgage broker. He could actually do any business all across California. You know, mortgage broker. He's also in the getting ready to launch his real estate business as well, so he can kind of do the whole shebang. I'd like to give also a shout out to Classic Tattoo Club in Auburn, off of Auburn in Sacramento, and also you guys out there that want to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, any of our social media.
Yeah.
We go ahead and follow us at Epic News Sports, and also too, there's a few things going on this weekend. Actually, fights everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
There's fights in Richmond. We got a few people that we know that's going to be fighting in that. We got NorCal Fight Series 2, which is going to be in Rancho Cordova at the soccer arena.
Yes.
And then we have probably
Granddaddy of them all.
the biggest fight this weekend with Gladiator Challenge at Thunder Valley Casino.
Mr. Dave Huckabee.
Dave, I wonder.
Itching to see him fight again, man. I'm like, ooh.
I wonder if he's going to shave the beard.
Yeah, I saw that. He posted his little rant this morning on the freeway talking about people getting in the soul lane.
Yeah.
And I wonder, I was like, I saw a video just recently, a couple days ago, of an older fight, and they had the shaved face. And I'm like, I don't know if he's coming out with, the billowy gray or,
Right.
if he's going to shave it off before a fight. But in any case, the beard's not going to stop him from knocking anybody out.
No, I mean, I don't think so. He says when he stands toe to toe with people, he can definitely. We got Elias.
Yes, Mr. Millis.
Millis. I always want to say Milas. What is it? Is he Greek?
I don't know.
Elias, are you Greek, brother? I mean,
Whenever I see Elias, I think I'm going to call him Stubby. But,
why Stubby? You know something I don't?
no.
No?
He's a little shorter than we are, but it's okay. We love you still, Elias.
So yeah, there also a lot of the fighters that we know. Derek Williams. I mean, he's been here a couple times. Guy that's been on the show twice.
A couple times, maybe like 4 out of 5 weeks he was here.
Joseph Cardoso is going to be fighting at the NorCal Fight Series 2 this weekend, so he's going to be kicking it out. So he's actually a really cool cool dude. I mean, he's been on the show twice, and last week he was here with his daughter. He was there with James Kirby.
Oh yes,
James Kirby.
Still waiting to hear the outcome of the.
You know what?
James Kirby.
Now, 3 weeks ago, we had Justin Baseman and Sean Tucker.
Yes.
Now, unfortunately, both of those guys lost their fights.
Really?
Yeah, so Justin Baseman got tagged pretty good in the second round, so he lost that fight there.
Can't win them all. I mean, just keep, like you said, a loss is not always a bad thing.
No, it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it kind of puts you in check a little bit. And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to show periodically, for those of you on Sean's feed in cyber world here, right here, I got a $50 bill. Crisp $50 bill. Now, I'm going to be giving that away to people that join our YouTube channel, Epic News Sports. If you can catch the show live on Epic News Sports, and if you miss it by any chance, it is archived. So I'm going to pick somebody here today before midnight. So I would encourage you to get on YouTube, go to Epic News Sports, and some lucky winner is going to win that $50 bill. I also have 2 tickets to NorCal Fight Series. I talked to Phil Flathers this afternoon, and he's going to give us a couple of tickets to give away. And so we're going to do that. And anybody here too, as well, that's in the place. If you want to come up and ask any questions or talk sports with us, you feel free to go ahead and come up here. And we talk about everything sports. One of the things that I saw this morning when I was getting my daughter ready for school, and it actually, I'm not even kidding, man, it was very, very emotional. And it literally did. I'm not kidding. It brought tears to my eyes. I thought this was a commercial, but it was not a commercial. It was actual. Idaho, there's actually a girl from Sac State that was at this race as well. But Idaho State, Shelby Erdahl, she was running the 400-meter hurdle. She ruptured her Achilles during the race.
Ouch.
And instead of stopping and calling for a medic, like some people would do, she kept going. And you could see she was crying. You could see the pain. She was barely trying to run. And when she come up to hurdle, she would just kind of go over it, and then she went run to the next one, go over it. And they showed the video, and she kept running because she was trying to get points for her team.
Right.
And so she finished the race in 2 minutes 53 seconds, .56, nearly 2 minutes behind the winner. But she kept going, so she ended up getting her school the points. Idaho State finished 11th out of the 12 teams, and that when I saw that, I was just like, that is hard, man.
That's pretty epic.
It is. That was epic. And wasn't Amy Mike's girlfriend? Wasn't she in Idaho this past?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So anyhow. I would encourage anybody out there watching this to go check out that video. You can probably see, if you just Google her name, Shelby Erdahl, it's ShelbyErdahl, or just do Idaho State girl ruptures tendon. You can just Google that and that'll come up. It is awesome. It's not, I mean, an Achilles tear is something that, well, when you rupture it, basically the muscle that connects to the heel, it rolls up into the calf. And so she may, I haven't heard anything yet, but probably, surgical procedure. But you could take not just months, but years to recover from injuries like that. And so I hope that this doesn't mess up her career. I mean, as an NCAA athlete.
That's how you went out, bro. I mean, hopefully she will.
I mean, I'll tell you what, man.
Like that?
She will be on every box of Wheaties, man. Because I'm telling you, you hear people, you hear Hulk Hogan, stay clean, eat your Wheaties, and this, that. No, this girl, I mean, she is one tough cookie. I mean, to do that and to keep going, I mean, that's just awesome. I mean, I cannot say any. You need to watch the video, man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll have to watch the video.
It is.
I mean, if she ends her career on that, she'll be forever remembered.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but now this has been a. I will say this. I'll keep going on her. I've seen soccer players, especially that during the World Cup, that you barely brush brine and they fall down and they're crying and they're saying, this girl ruptured her Achilles and kept running, and these soccer players just kind of fall down like a bunch of sissies in tutus and. Cry wolf, But this is this next question that's been coming along for a while now. Should college athletes get paid? whether
This has been an area of contention for a while.
yeah. So now you cannot have a job while you're in college if you're a student athlete. It's against the rules. But do you think now if you think of they were just thinking at one time the football players or whatever. But again, I don't think that um, it's all about football. It's not all about baseball or basketball. So there are several. I mean, there's several. I mean, tens of thousands of college athletes. So in reality, because there are some people saying that they are getting paid, they're getting their education free, they're getting their books free, they're getting room and board free. When you're an athlete in a dorm, they do your laundry for you. They do everything but wipe your butt, basically.
And then there's others that say, Kobe came straight out of high school, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and some people say, well, what if Kobe would have went to college? And then this was an argument for having players paid. Was, well, what if Kobe went to a 4-year college? And what if Kobe would have blown his knee out his junior year? And he ended up not being able to play anymore. Just say, well, he was never the same. Now, when he goes to the NBA draft, now his profitability or his market value is on because he wasn't the player he was. So they're saying that college players should be paid so that if they were not good enough to go to the pros or they got injured, at least that they had some money. But the others say, well, in the NFL specifically, or any sports, if you get injured, usually the team takes care of you. And you have some type of, they pay you out your contract.
Right, but even if you did get paid in college, we'll just say for the sake of argument, we'll say you get paid $1,000 a month, just for the sake of argument. That's nothing. I don't care who you are, Kobe Bryant, anybody else. $1,000, there's 9 months in the school year. Say that's 9,000, or do they only get paid during that season? So the college students, they only get paid during football season. I mean, there's many things to talk about, and
the other ones that the college player gets hurt and they're being paid, and it's a season-ending career, and if it's a career ender. So now, are they getting paid for the rest of their life?
No. I mean, that's what insurance is for, and that's what all this other stuff is for. But no, you do not now call it. No, that's ridiculous. Because I mean, not even football players, baseball, whatever like that. If they get injured, they don't get paid the rest of their life. They're done. Plain and simple, done. I've got I got friends that have family members that played for the Jets. One of their other family member got drafted by the Redskins. But in practice, preseason practice, this kid got his knee blown out by a rookie, and he's done. For now, anyway. But, okay, your personal opinion. College athletes, should they get paid?
I don't know. At one point I thought yes, but then I thought, if you pay them, then it becomes about the money. Then because I don't care if it's $1,000 or $2,000 a month or whatever.
But think of all the. Okay, we'll just pick. We'll just make up a school. We'll call it Butterfinger University, and say they have 1,000 student athletes. So $1,000 a month times 1,000 athletes. It's a lot of money. Times 9 months. So, but here's the deal. I am a proponent of, because I went to OU, but I am a proponent of you get your education free because I tell you what, like these kids that go to Yale, we'll just pick out Yale, Harvard, whatever. The student athletes there, I mean, dude, we're talking $100,000 a year that the education's getting paid for.
So $100,000 a quarter.
I'm just throwing out math.
Okay.
So you do that, and what I'm saying is your payment is your education. Your
Right.
payment is because I'm telling you what, even going to American River College, dude, I bought an Introduction to Theater book. It's about that thick, probably 170 pages. $180 for that book. I was returning a book today. There's a nursing book about 3.5 inches thick. $104, brand spanking new. A nursing book. So why would and I asked them, why is the introductory to theater so expensive? Well, because they know you need the book, and it's kind of a monopoly on the market. But but I say no. I say no.
I think it changes. Like you said, the schooling's paid for. They get all these benefits. Yeah, they're not getting any cash in the pocket, but
Now I will
money,
say,
if you bring money into it, it just changes the dynamic. Now it's all about the money. That's what it's going to be. I don't care if it's 1,000 or 2,000 or.
I will say this: if you graduate and say you got certain, or maybe if you win a national championship, so I would say we'll just say for the sake of math that you could, like, if you win a national championship or a bowl game or something like that, because the schools make money,
Well,
that you would get like maybe a bonus or something.
I would agree with that because the coach gets a bonus and the school gets a nice hefty little, chunk of change. So
Yeah.
yes, I would say if each player got $2,000 for on the team for winning the national championship. Okay, that's like a bonus.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that is a big, because here's the thing. Now then, and even some people would say, well, let each college dictate what they pay this and that. But see, then you have people going, oh, hey, come and play for my college, and I'll give you an extra this and that.
Yes.
So then that's
Or
when
the star player makes 5,000, and the OK player
Yeah.
makes 1,500.
Yeah. So I just say no.
No,
Nope.
it's just going to go on and on. They'll push the boundaries,
They will.
boundaries.
They will.
And then what about sponsors? So we haven't even got there yet because that's what letting money in. All of a sudden, now these sponsors, all the things that have been taboo for decades,
Yeah.
for 50, 60 years, suddenly now you've got Nike, all of the majors are just, even the small ones. The small ones, because you got small schools everywhere. Small little businesses trying to get their name out there. They're going to put their banner, in their stadium or whatever.
That's
sponsoring the
okay,
team, or
because
sponsoring
the school gets that money. So say you want to sponsor in the school basketball program or the football program. Yes, they do sell sponsorships for that. So you can have Bubba's Barbecue and they buy a sponsorship. There's nothing wrong with that.
They want to sponsor. The sponsor would be wanting to sponsor the star players. And
Well,
now they'll say, oh, we'll pay you so much money because now you're paying them. So now sponsors are saying, well, we'll pay you $1,000.
Well, right. That's where corruption will immediately leak in, because first off, say you and I are playing a game, and we'll say, okay, so you're a center, I'm the quarterback. Well, say you're getting paid $100 a game, I'm getting paid $1,000 a game. You will inevitably start having animosity towards me because I'm making 10 times more than you are, and you're asking yourself, well, why? Well, he can't get the ball unless I hike it to him. He can't hike it to himself.
Right. And if I don't block, he doesn't have time to throw it.
Exactly. So it is a Pandora's box when you get into the subject matter of paying student athletes. Now, again, you can have bonuses on certain things, like if they win the national championship, that's one thing. Everybody gets the same thing. I don't know. I mean, that's a that could be, or maybe you have someone like Carnival Cruise Line say, hey, congratulations to XYZ for winning the national championship. We want to give everybody, a free cruise.
Right.
But then people start yelling out, well, that's not fair, that's not fair. So when you get stuff like that and all these kudos, it's just not something that I think is going to fly.
Yeah, it's just, and that's why they've said no, because they've looked at the variables of what it will bring.
Right.
Not just paying the players, it's the bad thing. It's that all of a sudden the schools will start wanting to regulate their own pay. And they're like, hey, that guy said come in over there in Michigan. Hey, I'll give you a $5,000 extra bonus. Come over here.
Right.
And they'll involve sponsors in that.
Right.
They'll say, hey,
but I will say this.
Dinkey's Donuts here wants to sponsor you. Well, they'll give you $5,000 if you come to my college.
Right, but here's the thing. Players do get paid, it's just under the table. And for people that say that doesn't happen, bull crap. Because especially football, when you get done with a football game, you go to a lunch or you're going to a dinner that night or whatever, you're going to have boosters or whatever come up, shake your hand, and in their hand might be $100 bill. I've seen it. I've been involved in it, and so players, it does. I mean, I don't care. The NCAA, they're not going to stop it. They might find out about it. They may not. But I guarantee you, they do get perks. You might go to we'll just say Bubba's Barbecue again, and the guy, hey man, I'll buy your meal for you or whatever. Of course, nobody can know about that because that is special treatment. I've seen kids get in trouble because some dude let him spend the night on his couch, and so he gets in trouble as NCAA violations because it's special treatment. So I think, but also too, I think the NCAA is too anal about certain things, and they're lax on other things. So I think they just need to restructure all that stuff and get to the point to where, you know what, just get back to basics and just get back to studying. And you know what I hate too. I hate the one and done. So basically in basketball, you get these players that say, well, I'm only going to play 1 year because I'm going to raise my stock in the NBA draft. I don't like that. I think that if you are a athlete and they're paying for your education, I think you should go the whole 4 years. I really do. I say, you know what? If you want this paid for, you got to go the whole 4 years. You got to pass your classes with a C or better, and you got to graduate. Or you got to pay us that money back. So if you want to do a one and done and go to the NBA and say it costs the school $100,000, okay, your first $100,000 that you get for going to the NBA, you got to pay it back to us. If they want to do that, then so you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Oh yeah. I mean, one and done. I mean, how often do you have that?
Every single year.
One and done?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You have more guys going in. You have more guys go to the 2 years or 3 years and leave a year early.
No, every single year you have a one and done. And usually it's on Kentucky or something like that. But no, every single year you got a one and done. Where you going, man?
Fix this.
Every episode, this guy gets up. I think his diaper's leaking or something.
No.
He's got
Got to reset the Facebook stream.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So, what do we got? What's Robert saying?
See, I hit up again. See. All right.
Well, I see the last two words. What?
Stop it. Call.
Yeah, you don't have to repeat the last two words.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I get we're done on the whole on the whole thing with the. But you know what? We are going to take a quick little commercial break. We're gonna do a pause for the cause. So people on Facebook, people on the internet, and don't worry, Texas, I haven't forgotten about you.
I was about to say.
So don't. I never forget about them. So we will be back in about 1 minute. We'll be right back.
Who's that? Robin Medina. Who is that? He said.
What did he say?
He said, "Stop it. Call me."
Yeah, tell him to lick your freaking
Who
balls.
is that?
You're gonna go on and record it, right?
I just started recording.
How's the baby? You didn't shit him out, did you? Is he in there swimming in the pool? Hey, that's yours. I got that for you.
I'm not hungry anymore, dude.
Mother? I have to pay for that. Sean, eat the freaking sandwich.
I was about to say I'm still on your balls.
I'm gonna remember that when I'm sitting next to you with the beef dip. It's recording, right?
Yes.
All right. Ready, Sean?
Yeah, sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Epic Sports Radio, coming at you live from Tracy at the Grant Bar and Lounge. What are you eating, man?
Pickle?
A pickle. What, are you pregnant?
No.
No. All right. Grant Barn Lounge here in Tracy, California. Again, we'd like to thank our sponsors and the gracious host, DJ, the gentleman who owns this establishment. Also, George Romansky, mortgage broker and real estate agent. He hails from Rockland, California, and you want to get a hold of him, email me at glenn@epicnewssports.com, or you can call me at 916-633-4851. I will give you all of his information, and we will go on that. And I will. And again, all you people on Facebook, right here, Chris $50 bill. I'm going to give that away to someone before midnight tonight. If you follow us and subscribe to us on Twitter, Epic News Sports, or go on YouTube and subscribe, Epic News Sports, and one lucky person will get $50. We're also giving away 2 tickets to the NorCal Fight Series. I got my Twitter up right here, so you can tweet us at Epic News Sports, and I will pick somebody off of Twitter. So I'm opening that up right now, and so I will be checking that out and seeing who's tweeting us. And oh wow, okay, so we got something there. Okay.
Tell my girlfriend, go ahead, subscribe to the YouTube channel. $50. It's right here.
Yep. Yep. So, all right. So now, let's get into some drama.
Oh boy.
Drama in the state of Alabama. Now, it did not happen in Alabama. Actually, it happened in, I believe, Louisiana. Anyway, Alabama's left tackle Cam Robinson was arrested Tuesday morning on charges of possession of a controlled substance, illegal possession of a firearm, and possession of a stolen gun. Now, the possession of the stolen gun is a felony. Now, the other 2 charges, the controlled substance, which we don't know what it is.
They'll probably go after the felony.
But yeah, they will definitely go after the felony. And the other 2 are just misdemeanors. So, I'm guessing that this gentleman, if I'm a betting man, and I am, I would, what's the question that Ryan is asking?
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Epic Sports.
No, it's Epic News Sports.
Epic News Sports.
Crackhead.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you see this $50 bill right here? We could possibly win this $50. I'll just take it and actually go and just put it in my pocket now.
Yeah. And roll
Go
it
ahead,
up.
subscribe. Roll it up, yeah.
So, anyway, I'm guessing this guy's career as an Alabama football player just might be over.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
So,
was a good one.
what is the problem with these knucklehead football players that now you do hear from other sports like, Duke lacrosse team, they were into some shenanigans a couple years ago.
Yes.
And mainly the sport where these guys are idiots, football. And
Too many hits to the cabeza.
I will say this. A lot of these guys that get scholarships to these big colleges, they come, and I'm not saying anything bad about them, but it's a fact. They come from a lower income way of life, and they get boosted into these things. They get put in the limelight, and they don't know what to do about it. Somebody needs to teach these guys how to act. They need to have a class on couth.
Well, usually that's when you go to the NFL symposium for rookies. Usually they have that class, but you have to make it there first.
Well, what's up with the parents? The parents should be teaching these kids, man.
Well, a lot of, not all, but a high percentage come from
A single
parent
parent.
home where the mom is working 3 jobs or 2 jobs, or,
Right.
or the mom is.
There's
whatever.
still no excuse. There's no excuse.
There's
I
no
mean,
excuse, but
I'm a single parent, all right, and my daughter doesn't act like an idiot out in public. Now at home, that's a different story. But when I'm out in public and I'm with her, everybody will say, "Oh my gosh, she is so well mannered." And Paris is always like, "Yes, ma'am. Yes, please. Yes, sir." And I'm like, "What?"
you go home and she's like, you know what? Go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah. Well, she'll say that once, and she'll feel the back of my hand. So, yeah, CPS, I said that. So, but no, I don't hit my kid much. No, I mean I don't. No, she's a cool kid. But this Alabama kid, Cam Robinson. I mean, Cam, I don't know what you're thinking, brother. First off, not only are you got one gun, you got two. One stolen. So, did you steal it, or did somebody give it to you and say, hold on to it for me? Which, if you did, you're an idiot. And the controlled substance, if I had to guess, I'm probably marijuana, man. And, which, let's just face it, man. I've talked about that so many times. If you have a plant that grows naturally, and you don't have to do anything to it chemically to alter it, and it grows naturally, and you happen to smoke it and get high, who freaking cares? First off, he's
not during a football game.
Yeah, and he's not even in school. School's out.
School's out.
So
right
if he wants to sit home all day and sit in the closet and smoke blunts and eat Cheetos and Butterfingers, go right ahead.
Just make sure to be in shape for, summer workouts.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So now. So anyway, there's so many football players that do stupid things, and it's not just a racial thing, because you have this gentleman, you have the football players that which we'll talk about next, and then you have Johnny Manziel. So you get them all from not only race, not only creeds, but also social class. Johnny Manziel came from a very wealthy family, and he's still an idiot. And speaking of idiots, no, I'm gonna take a step into I like to call it wacko Texas. And for all you Texas people out there, since I am talking about you, thank you for watching. For one, we do appreciate it, and I will give you not just one, but two down with the horns, and boomer soon, baby. And anyway, Baylor University, they're having problems with sexual violence allegations against football players, also domestic violence and other acts of violence. These dudes do not know how to act. They get to the big college, and they start acting like a fool, and
seems like that the only place they know how to act is on the field with the coach supervisor.
well, a lot of these guys, I
Other
think,
than that,
need a babysitter 24/7 because they don't know how to act.
People who do not act accordingly, who play sports at a college, whether it be football, baseball, or other sports.
Yeah.
If they can't act right, they have a violation of that rule of not being able to conduct yourself in public in a proper or correct manner.
Or
Guess
private,
what?
for
Guess
that
what?
matter.
When they get done with school or football practice, that's what they have to do. Their curfew is 9 o'clock. 10
Yeah.
o'clock, they have to be in the dorms.
They do have that on some, especially when they're traveling on the road, but
I'm talking about just general. Like, it could be the summertime coming up, and there's no football. And guess what? You had 2 violations of this year. Guess what? For the whole summer.
well, the whole summer,
You gotta be in.
they're not at school in the summer. They're home. They're gone.
Oh, okay. So
They're
they're off
gone.
the whole summer.
They're gone.
Okay.
They are GON.
Okay, in springtime when they're still at school, and it's no longer football. you every night until the end of the school year.
Yeah, but you know what? The dorms are so plush. The dorms are so nice. Now, is that to your dorm room, or is that to the dorms? Because I tell you what, they got dorms, they got the couches, they got the video games. It's kind of like a little mini resort in a lot of these dorms, man.
I've been to your room.
Well, the rooms are nice too, for that matter. But yeah, I mean, I would say that. Let me see here. Let's see if we can get both of us. And no, we can't.
Hello. Trying to.
All right. So anyway, now here's something that Alabama's doing, and I think it is absolutely freaking stupid. Alabama has offered an 8th grader a scholarship. 8th grader.
That shouldn't be allowed.
My daughter is in 8th grade.
I don't care how good he is.
She's 14 years old.
He is not ready to go from an 8th grade middle school mentality to a college mentality where.
No, they're saying here. They're saying here's the scholarship when you're done with high school. Not going from 8th grade to college.
Oh.
I mean, he's not Duke and Hauser, but I'm talking about they're trying to land this kid now.
I don't think they should be allowed to do that.
No, I mean that's stupid.
For them to focus on school, not think about all the time in their brain. Oh, I'm going to Alabama or I'm going to Michigan.
Well, that's what they've been doing, and sometimes they do that to basketball players and mainly basketball, football. But anyway, that's dumb. That's ludicrous. That's crazy. That is giving the kid a sense of entitlement. Now he's going to start being cocky to all of his friends and all these things. So no, I don't think that they should do that.
That's why.
Yeah. So there he goes again, folks. He's going to change his diaper. So yeah. So you know what? Enough of Alabama. Oh yeah, these Baylor kids though. You know what? First off, the only discipline that I would give them. Well, not the only, but the biggest one is I'd kick him out of school.
Really?
And yes, I would kick him out of school, especially if it's sexual
Oh,
violence.
yeah, ouch.
You're done, man. So sexual violence, well, any violence really, but when you have sexual violence, I mean that is just, I mean you're done. Period. Done. Goodbye. See you later. So they shouldn't get to go to any other college. Period. So. Anyhow, so now we're going to move on to the NFL. And do we wait for you to come back, or are you?
Well, I'm trying to fix this situation.
Do you need a martini while you're waiting? Would you like some tea and crumpets?
Say hey.
This is why we need a social media person.
Yes.
But our past social media person is now living in Chicago.
You miss her now, don't you?
And she has yet to have a Chicago dog, from what I understand. But yeah. Anyways, so moving on to the NFL.
Yes.
Big thing. All right.
Trying to get this thing to.
All right. Screw that.
Right.
So,
I'm back.
the NFL, when I read this story, I was like, figures. So the NFL is returning $723,000 to the government for sponsored military tributes. So this is basically called, and I put it in quotes, it is called paid patriotism. And this money came out of the Armed Forces budget. So basically, the Armed Forces was paying the NFL money. So whenever you saw last year, we're going to pay tribute to the military. Oh, thank you to the military for your service. Thank you to that. All the patriotism, a bunch of BS.
Horrible.
Yeah, so the NFL is returning, rightfully so, $723,000
How did that come about?
through an audit. And
Audit of the federal government's budget? Or?
Audit of the league, an audit of the marketing, the budgeting, and all that stuff. So say if I audited you, and you were making $1 million a year on stuff, I would audit you and say, okay, where did this money come from? Where did it go? And you would say, okay, well, I got this from Steve Smith. I got this from Alice Smith. I got $723,000 from the government. And they're like, what? Why'd the government give you $723,000? Oh, because they paid us to be patriots. You know, so now every time I see anything Patriots or any of this stuff in the NFL, I'm going to call shenanigans for one. I'm going to be suspicious of another.
So you probably won't see any reference this season to any type of military veterans, which would be horrible because they should do it anyway.
If you're going to do it, you shouldn't have to get paid for it.
Right.
That's borderline
And
communism.
who got the money for that?
Well,
I mean, I know the league got it, but
how much does Roger Goodell make?
jeez.
Millions.
Yeah.
$42 million a year, dude. And so yeah, I mean, I don't like that. I mean, I'm a veteran myself, and I do not like the fact that I see a league being paid to be patriots. You're either a patriot or you're not. You either like the country or you don't.
I mean, even WWE does a tribute to the troops every year, and they're not paid for it.
No, and you shouldn't. That would almost be like us, like when we did the charity event that we did last Saturday. That'd be like us saying, "Hey, man,
What's that, 250?
yeah, give us that, and we'll do a charity for you."
No, that's not how it is now.
So yeah, I mean, all those full length, field long, field width American flags. I mean, I'm just wondering to myself,
That's where the money went. They were buying it.
Well, no. I mean, no. It went into somebody's pockets. It went into Goodell's and the
Why does
owners.
he need it? He makes 42 and a half times more than that.
Well,
Or 41 and a half times more than that. Almost 40.
why does he need it? It's called one word, brother. Greed.
You know what they could have done? The government paid them that money. They could have took that money and donated to different veteran entities, and
Well,
then it would have been okay. Then it would have been. It may not have been okay by the auditor, but it would have been money just sitting idle.
No, what they should do is give it to the Wounded Warrior Fund. There are so many homeless veterans out there. I mean, look at a buddy of ours, James Wade Brooks. He works a lot with people and homeless veterans. They should have given that money to them, and
Right.
So anyway, so enough of that. That's a bunch of crap. And Roger Goodell, shame on you. Shame on the NFL. You guys suck right now. And give that money back and don't.
Yeah.
They should. You know what? They should.
When I read-
They should double that, man. Forget the
I
7.
read that, and I read it. I was like, what happened here? There was a breakdown in communication somewhere.
No, they got caught.
The person who allocated that from the government should be fired.
You can't fire the government, dude.
No. The person who,
You know
who made the call to do that, to allocate that money.
can't fire him, dude.
Why?
Because in the government, you could do any. If you work for the state of California, you get away with anything that you cannot get fired hardly unless you do murder somebody or something like that. I mean, you could just do stupid stuff, and unless it is just blatant or something to do with sexual assault or something like that, you're not going to get fired. You're not. And when you go to the government, that's just another level. So it's not going to happen. So let me ask you this, man. Who do you think are the favorites right now to win the Super Bowl next year? The favorites, right now. If you had to bet money, who would it be?
Carolina would
Carolina.
probably be a favorite. Top 5 at least.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are. They are actually number 5.
I would say top 5 at least. I would say not the Broncos, because Broncos don't even know the quarterbacks in the league.
They're number 7.
Wow. I would say the Patriots, maybe.
They are.
Yeah.
Now, if you bet, it changes from Bovada to Bet Now to Sports Interaction to 5 Times. You got all these different betting entities that I don't know if you bet online.
I haven't. I used to. Yahoo used to have a fantasy.
No, betting. I'm talking straight up. I'm going to call in. I'm going to do a parlay, and I want to upload my money. So it's usually an offshore. So
No, I haven't ever done that.
you've got New England Patriots plus 700. So right now, if you bet $100 right now, and they win the Super Bowl, you will get $700 plus your 100 back. So they're plus 700. So you got the Cowgirls.
Raiders are in the top 15.
You got the Cowgirls at plus 2,000. You've got the Raiders. Now, dig this. You go all the way down to the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
They are plus 10,000. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the San Francisco 49ers. So, the best bet out of all those would be the San Francisco 49ers. Now, if you bet $100 and they win the Super Bowl, you get 10 grand. So if you bet $1,000 and it's 10,000 to 1, 10,000 times 1,000, a lot of mucho dinero.
Yes.
So you've got so the odds are out.
I'm kind of impressed that the Raiders are on the first page.
I think that's going to change, but like the Los Angeles Rams are plus 6,600, and but yeah, so the odds they're going to change, but there's going to be. I don't know, man. That's just it's interesting to see some of these.
On paper, wow, that's crazy. That just backed up right away. On paper, the Raiders look like their defense is going to be up there.
Yeah, but you know what?
If they play like the names read.
Nothing really impresses me on paper, and I'll tell you why. Because it's in black and white. And anything can... Okay, I'll tell you why. Johnny Manziel looked good on paper. You know what's cool right now? I'm looking over here to my left. I see two guys at the end of the bar. I see one a San Francisco Giants fan, and the other one's a Los Angeles Dodgers fan. And they're sitting there having a beer together, chilling out, talking, and they're not fighting.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So now let's talk a little bit about football names. This has been going on for many years.
15 years?
Oh, no. Well,
at least 15 to 20.
More so in the past 3 years. Now, you have people up in arms about the name Washington Redskins. Now,
Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, there's nothing wrong with the Chiefs. You have a chief of a tribe. You have the President of the United States. That'd be like the Washington president. There's nothing wrong with that. It's like the Florida State Seminoles. That is a tribe, the Seminole tribe.
Oh, I know.
So all these people are all butthurt about the name. And they've done a poll. 9 out of 10 Native Americans are okay with Redskins' name. Most of them consider it an unimportant issue, and the general American population cares more about the name than Native Americans do. I'm Native American, and I could care less. If you want to be the Redskins, you've been that way for 80 plus years, go ahead. You want to be the Atlanta Braves? That's what they are. They are Braves. They are called Braves. You know, it's not like they're called the Atlanta N-words. You know, that would be different. You know?
Yeah.
Or the Oakland Cotton Pickers, you know? I mean, that would be different. But they're Braves. They're the Seminoles. They're the Redskins. See, who else? Okay, the Chicago Blackhawks. So none of those are derogatory. I don't think it's derogatory, period. And you do not see a bunch of Native Americans protesting, period. You don't. You just don't do it. They have other things to care about.
They're it's an include tribe, smoking their peyote. They don't have time about it.
You drink. But that's okay. They are smoking their peace pipe. And I think they might even be the first people to discover the wacky tobacco. So, but yeah, so I think, well, what do you think? I mean, think of the other names. I mean, like these high school, a lot of these high schools around here. Well, we're going to change our mascot name or whatever. Okay, it's like the Stanford Cardinals. First off, they're the Stanford Cardinals, and their mascot is a pine tree. That's got to be the stupidest mascot that I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it's bad.
A pine tree.
Yeah, I'm like, what is that? Like, why is there a tree on you?
So you have now the California Bears. That's cool. You got a bear. You've got the UCLA Bruins. Again, another bear. You have the University of Southern California, the Trojans. That's cool. You've got the Michigan State Spartans. Cool. You've got the Michigan Wolverines. Cool. Then you have the Tennessee Volunteers. That's dumb. You have the Las Vegas, the Running Rebels. That's kind of cool. Oklahoma City. Okay. Now, let's get into the school I went to, the Oklahoma Sooners. Okay, if you think about it, I asked them when I got there, I'm like, why are you guys called Sooners? So when they had the land rush back in 1800s, and they had a starting line, if you will. And you could run out there and you stake your claim on the land. So you could put a stake here, go a mile that way, do another stake. So whoever could stake their claim first. So whoever got there sooner, that's how they got their name, the Sooners. Now, I lived in Indiana for, I don't know, a year and a half. And I lived in Columbus, which Columbus is in the middle of nowhere. Then you drive about 20 miles or so, then you have Greensburg. Go the other direction, you have Bloomington, where the Hoosiers are. So I went there and I'm asking, what is a Hoosier? Nobody can tell me that people that have been there their whole life, they do not, I've looked it up, nothing. I do not know what a Hoosier is. Now, okay, so you have the Duke Blue Devils. Okay, that's interesting. You have the Carolina Tar Heels. If you look at the history, that makes sense. You have the, you got Alabama. That makes sense if you look at the history. The Florida State Seminoles, named after the Indian tribe. Florida Gators, they're known for gators there. Now, you know, in Florida, if you go to a game and they see you do this, they know that you're not from there because the gator's mouth opens like this. The bottom doesn't move, just the top. So if you're doing this, that's not correct. It's like this. That's the gator. Okay, then you have the Los Angeles Dodgers. The history behind that name makes sense too. The New York Yankees makes sense. Cincinnati Reds. Well, that can make sense if you look at the history. The Red Sox, the Tigers. So some of that. So
the White Sox.
Yeah. So where are people going to get upset because the sock is now white? You know. Yeah. The Buccaneers, the Raiders. You know, the 49ers. That makes sense. So all these people getting butthurt about the native. I think some people just need something to complain about. They need a voice to complain about something, and again, nobody cares. I don't care.
No, some names I'm thinking.
Yeah, but and before we go to commercial break, we're going to go over one more thing here. Now, have you ever been? No, we're not going to go over that. We already went through the Super Bowl odds. So, all right. So forget the paperwork right here. So let's just go back to that real quick. Do you think before 2020, do you think the Raiders will make it to the Super Bowl?
It's possible. I mean, like I said, if the paper translates into the play on the field, I mean, they could.
Okay. Now,
it may take them until 2020 to do it. But,
you are a Raider fan. I'm a Raider fan. So let me ask you this. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that the Raiders move to Las Vegas. And they now become the Las Vegas Raiders, which absolutely makes no freaking sense at all. First off, if you're going to move to Vegas, change your dadgum name. Because I don't like it to where it's like the Lakers. They're not, that makes no sense. The Los Angeles Lakers. It's like, the Utah Jazz. That's not their original name. So if you're going to change cities, change your name. Plain and simple. So, will you remain a Raider fan if they go to Vegas?
I've gone through going to LA and coming back from LA. And the threat of going, maybe it'd be like them moving to Sacramento. And the only reason I wouldn't care at that point is because I live in Sacramento County, so to me they'd be closer. But if they go out of state and go to
Las Vegas?
I don't know.
Nope, I'm picking a different team, man.
I have to let them go.
I might have to become a Cowboy fan.
No, that'll never happen.
I'm not going to be a 40-winer fan, I can tell you that right now. Well, anyway, on that note, we are going to take another commercial break, folks, and we will be back in 2 minutes, 2 seconds.
Very easy, wasn't it?
Where is Ashley at?
As I said, where's your woman? She's disappeared. Out on the
I'm
range.
trying to figure out
Oh, she's over there sitting down.
where's the main mute button.
I don't know.
Mute groups. Crap. Mute, mute, mute. Where you at, dude? Why? 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 Do you have to have a reason? Technically, you do. Is someone going to eat that sandwich?
Oh, you do. I'm just.
Do you want any bread? Hey, do you want any bread? Oh, we gotta. I gotta figure this out, dude. It's my freaking. Yeah. I did, but they're gonna charge me a freaking late fee, and it's $36.08. I don't have freaking. Huh? Call who? They're probably closed right now, and I've been doing this other stuff trying to get this stuff.
So you pressed that button? You pressed the button on here? You went into it and went right back out. I was like, can't stand it. The only thing that solidly works here is my Verizon phone. And it's dead. Or almost dead. And the problem is I can plug it in. But for some reason on my Verizon, if you figure out why, when I turn it on the side, it won't turn with this phone. But it'll turn with this one. And the screen will readjust.
Hey, when I mute those, does that mute the record? How come it's not recording? It says 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. If I do unmute, unmute, unmute. Wait, unmute. Oops. It's not. Did you?
That
Did
light
you?
just go out?
Probably because he stepped on something. Ashley, can we figure out why this is not recording? This is kind of the reason.
I don't know. I hate this board.
You only hate it because you don't understand it.
I hate it.
So when you hit record, did you just hit it and walk away? Did you just hit it and walk away? Did you hit it and watch it record?
No.
Don't hit record yet because there's nothing happening.
But I want to see if it works.
Fine, go ahead. Did you arm anything?
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me real quick.
How big is the flash drive?
8 gigabytes.
It's not very big.
8 gigabytes for recording. Do you know how much music you can put on?
Yes, I know how much music you can put on 8 gigabytes. It's about 2,000 songs.
So that 8 gigabytes could do a 2-hour show. All right, you got 30 seconds.
Did you mute the mics at all, or are they still?
I is it coming out over there?
Yeah, they're not muted.
I did, then I unmuted them. So is it not RECORDING? 15 seconds.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Hmm.
The recording button lights up and stuff, and seems to.
But it's not recording.
It's the timer's not moving.
Can you make a phone call? I'm sorry. I can't do it. Ready? Yeah. 3, 2, and 1. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Epic Sports Radio. We are coming at you live from Tracy, California. We are at the Grant Bar and Lounge and would like to thank our gracious host, the owner of the establishment, DJ, for having us here. And we will be here next Friday. And next Friday, I would like to kind of let you know who's going to be here. A boxer by the name of Jasper Macaro. He's going to be here on panel, and I've been talking to this cat for a couple weeks now, and we've been kind of correlating a few things, and he is going to finally be able to be on panel. So again, Jasper, excuse me, Macaro is going to be on panel, so that's going to be interesting. So, all right. So, we are in the 21st century.
Yes.
And the Steelers have kind of jumped into the Space Odyssey realm. And they now have, and during the off-season workouts, they are using robotic tackling dummies. So these things are done on remote control. And so basically, they're simulating, people. So they'll have a player. They'll do a. They'll create a play. They'll run the play, and the players will react to these robotic dummies. And Mike Tomlin, he says he calls it an awesome piece of technology. So that's what he says.
Expensive.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, but. I guess, too, if you think about it, because I've seen these things, and they kind of look like those little blow-up dolls that you had growing up. They stood about, 5 feet, 5, and they had the sand in the bottom of them. You could hit them, and they would just move. They kind of look like that. So I guess they're using those in lieu of, tackling or possibly people getting injured and all that, which I can understand to a point. But I don't know. What do you think about that?
I don't know. I mean, they're expensive, I'm sure, because they're robotic.
Yeah, well, the NFL has plenty of
Well, they
money.
have plenty of money, but if one team has them, all the teams should be able to have them.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, all teams have their own thing. I mean, some teams run certain things. Some teams don't. Some teams require one thing. Some teams don't.
Every team should have access.
Well, yeah, they can have access to whatever they want, but doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do it.
Right.
But anyway, I found that story interesting, and so one last thing in the NFL. Then we're going to move on to we'll move on to golf next. But the Pro Bowl has been played in Hawaii for many, many years, and the players go there. Some players don't like it, but it costs a lot of money to go to Hawaii. It doesn't matter what time of the year, in season, off season, whatever. Now you could probably find some places to stay for pretty cheap, but flying over there is expensive. But they are in talks of moving the Pro Bowl in 2017 to Orlando. Exactly. Why does everything have to be in Florida? Why don't you do it to San Diego?
Why are we going there? I mean,
Well, the
even
weather.
in Florida, that would not be where I'd have it in Florida.
Well, no.
I'd have it in Miami near South Beach. We might as well if we're going to be down there.
I would have it.
I'm not going to Tampa Bay, which stinks.
I would have it in San Diego. Period. So anyway, the Pro Bowl, it means nothing anyway. It's more of an exhibition. it doesn't mean anything. The players hardly, play, and they go at maybe 30%, and it's
Yeah,
stupid.
it's kind of fading out. Its use has been played out.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Let's move on to golf now. Golf. I've got a lot of friends that play golf. I know several pro golfers, and well, first off, I found it funny because I was looking up at a Tiger Woods um, press conference the other day at the gym, and he's ranked like 425th in the world. You would never think that you would see Tiger Woods and that number associated next to him.
Right.
So, yeah. So I would say, now here's the thing. Yesterday, Sergio Garcia finished the day, round 1, -7. Pretty good. First place, the ATT Byron Nelson in Irving, Texas. But as of today, he dropped from 1st to 11th. Jordan Spieth, so it's kind of his hometown gig. He was -5 yesterday, and my question was, well, first off, my question as of yesterday was, will he choke like he did the Masters? But today he is now tied for 1st with -11. He had 6 birdies on the day, 1 bogey, and he finished holes 16 through 18 birdie. Birdie, 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 birdie. Do you think that Spieth in front of the hometown crowd, do you think he has the, I don't know, the wherewithal, the mental gusto to win in his hometown?
If he stays focused, stays focused and keeps the eye on the prize, so to speak.
Every time I hear of Eye on the Prize, have you seen the movie? Not the original one. I'm talking Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Not Willy Wonka, but Charlie with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Now, there's the blonde, Violet Beauregard, and her mother. Every time I hear Eye on the Prize, I hear her mother, Eye on the Prize, Violet, Eye on the Prize. Every time I hear that on that movie. You know what the funny thing is? I just watched that movie last week. I love that movie. And it's a bit weird, but I love it. So, Jordan Spieth, I wish him good luck.
Yeah.
And, it's always good to play in front of a hometown crowd, and it's even better to win in front of a hometown crowd. So now, we move on to the National Basketball Association. Now, you have the Warriors. The other night, they beat the Thunder 118-91. Now, they were a totally different team than they were in night one. Game one, against when they lost.
Right.
So they played well. It was great. But I won't even talk about the Cavaliers Raptors because I told you the Cavaliers were going to sweep. You didn't think so. They're up 2-0, and they're going to be going to Canada. And
that was the beating game too.
well, pretty much we're like 108-89. So kind of the same thing as the previous game. But Kevin Durant finished with 29 points. Curry was 5 out of 8 from the 3-point line, which is pretty good. It's really good, actually. He was 5 for 5 from the free throw, perfect, and he had 28 points in 30 minutes. So 28 points in 30 minutes is very good. So he's only 1 point behind Kevin Durant on that. So I think that that loss at home might have had a spark, because if they would have went down 0-2, I honestly don't know if they could have pulled it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They have, let's see. Well, first off, I'm going to let everybody know. I already let you know earlier. We had a bet Wednesday night. The Yankees A's. So Yankees beat the A's. So I get a Starbucks from you, and that's all I'll say on that. Um, so here's the thing of a team which, unless you're from Wisconsin, and especially unless you're from Milwaukee, you probably won't even care about this team. The Milwaukee Bucks, they leaked the players' finances due to an email scam. So I will say this: whoever did that should be fired, because
Yeah.
there's all kinds of email scams out there. I mean, I put something up on Craigslist for sale, and I'll get some knucklehead going, well, I'm in Chicago, or I'm away on vacation, or I'm getting this for my nephew, and this and that, and give me your address and this and that, or give me your PayPal, and I will. So if I'm asking 100, he'll go, I give you 150 for shit, and I'm like, you know what? No, that's a scam, and I've been scammed before, where someone sent me a check, and then I even went to the bank and asked the bank, hey, is this cool? And they go, oh yeah, there's funds in there, and it was legitimate, but someone stole that person's account number, and I mean, I had the FBI on me and everything. I'm like, hey, bro, and I had to show them, this is where I got the check from, and this is how it happened. I showed them all the emails, so I got off on that one, but I was like, I was taken advantage of when this whole Nigerian thing first started. So anyway, the person that did that needs to be fired. But now, so let's move back to Orlando when we were talking about the Pro Bowl, and they're excuse me. We're getting a text from somebody, and let's answer that text. Okay, so all right, so back to Orlando. Now, a lot of Orlando fans, especially when the Orlando Magic isn't doing very well, they call them the Orlando Tragic. So, but they got a coach that they they hired, Vogel. People are asking the question: should Vogel pursue Dwight Howard? So, dig this. Dwight Howard goes. He's in Orlando. He goes from Orlando to L.A. He has issues there because he's a diva and he sucks.
Yeah.
So then he goes, pisses people off in L.A. So they ship him off to Houston. He does the same exact thing in Houston, diva, and so now they're saying if you should try and go back to Orlando. Me personally, I don't care. He doesn't.
I just want him to go away.
Yeah, I mean, he's chasing the money. So I don't even know if they would, if he would even go back. But if you know what, I don't even care. So we're gonna move off on that. So now let's talk to somebody, not talk to, but about somebody that I do like. He went to Syracuse. He won a national championship there. And so, should the Knicks trade Carmelo Anthony? Yes or no? And why?
Why would they?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because he makes $22,875,000. That's twice as much as the second highest player, Robin Lopez, who makes right around a little under $12 million a year. Most players make $1.5 million, 400,000, this and that. The one player, I couldn't even pronounce his name, so I didn't put it down. But last year he made $30,888. $30,000. I mean, Carmelo Anthony probably spends that in a weekend.
What's the league now?
A lot more than that, but there's also contingencies behind that story. But anyway, the salary is a lot of the guys on the Knicks are making under $1 million. There's only a handful of them that are making a little bit more. Now, they should trade him because he's making $22 million and he's not producing. So they need to bring down the salary cap, and this So, I answered your question as to the why.
Don't speak too loudly because the Kings will pick him up. We don't need that.
No. The Kings do need. I tell you what, I would snatch Melo. He's a good player. But
Why is he not producing?
Well, because you have divas on that team too. They don't like to share the ball, and when you don't care, you don't play well. Carmelo Anthony doesn't give a crap, dude. So he's making his almost $23 million doing whatever it is, and it's just stupid. So, with that information, do you now think that the New York Knickerbockers, that is a dumb name too, the New York Knickerbockers, do you think they should trade Melo? I would in a second, dude.
You trade Robert's cousin and Rondo.
Yeah, I'll get rid of them in a second. Build a team around Carmelo Anthony.
Exactly.
Because at least Carmelo...
You have Rudy Gay. You have Rudy Gay and Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
You have Seth Curry and some other players.
So I would say, yes, trade them. Now, this segues into my next question. Are these, and I put in quotations, star players worth the money these teams are paying them? Yes or no?
Right now, Melo is not worth anything right now.
Do you know why some people say he's worth? Okay, now LeBron James makes around the same, probably more like 23 to 25 million. Do you think he's worth it?
He goes through streaks. He goes through periods where
No.
he plays really good.
He's not worth 23, 25 million
He
dollars.
goes through, I don't think overall. I think he should do it for a year. I think he should pay like $15 million a year.
You know why they're paying him that much? Because when he went back to Cleveland, and first off, he demanded that he get that much, but they sold out the season tickets in a matter of, before an hour. So he puts butts in the seats. So that's why. But no. Now here's the deal. Now I would say, okay, we're going to pay you, for the sake of math, we're going to pay you $10 million. You get to the playoffs, that's a $2 million bonus. You advance to the next level, that's $2 million. You go to the finals, there's another. But if you win the finals, then here's another bonus.
Right.
So I would do it contingent on that, because the thing about it is, when these guys, if they have a winning season or a losing season, they get paid the same amount of money. Now, if you would have it to where, if you didn't score this many points or this, that, and the other, or average over a few games, yeah, you're going to have a bad game here and there. But the other night, he got a triple-double. So, but anyway, I say no on the salaries, especially baseball. And that segues into our next segment, which is the baseball segment. But before we get to that, we're going to come to the baseball segment after the break. We're going to take a break here in just a few minutes. I want to one more time talk about it. You got fights in Richmond this weekend. You have the Gladiator Challenge, which is at Thunder Valley Casino in Lincoln, which is about an hour and 40 minutes from here.
Right.
Then Rancho Cordova, which is about an hour and 10 minutes from here. You got a couple local guys like Joseph Cardoso. He's going to be fighting in that. Now, the salaries that the MMA fighters get, they might, even at the UFC level, but they might say, like on the lower cards, some guys, like when we went to the fights a couple weekends ago, some of those guys, they don't get paid anything. They're just doing it until they can get to that next level. They got to prove themselves, which I don't think is right. I think if you fight, for the sake of math, we'll just say, hey, we'll give you $100. That's something. You fight, you get $100. Win or lose. But if you win, we'll kick in another $100. But some of those guys, even in the big card fights, their fight that may only be $1,000. I say only $1,000. That's a lot to these guys. But I talked to some of these guys, and they are struggling. I mean, there's one cat I talked to. I won't mention his name, but he didn't even have pads yet for his fight this weekend.
It's crazy.
And these guys have families to take care of. They have groceries to buy and all of that. And I think some of these sports. I mean, because you have the MMA that are making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars on the pay per view. You need to have do what these like GKO. They will have, hey, the fight of the night. You'll get you'll get $1,000 bonus. Knockout of the night, $1,000 bonus. Stuff like that. So I think that the pay structure on that should be a little bit better. But I think that sport. I mean, dude, I know it's back in the 40s when this happened, and even the 50s. But when Yogi Berra, his first year in baseball, his salary was $5,000.
Damn.
That was his salary, and he sold appliances in the offseason. A lot of these, most of them, a lot of these baseball players, they had jobs after baseball. $5,000. Well, not granted, $5,000 back then was, a lot of money per se. I mean, because you could buy a house in the 40s, a brand new house. I mean, for $5,000. And I mean, heck, even in the 60s when the Mustang came out, the brand new 1965 Mustang was $2,500, brand spanking new. And then the Camaro was probably more like 35, something like that. But you get a 68 Camaro now, and that thing will be worth $30,000 easy if it's in good condition. But I think a lot of these salaries are ridiculous because here's the deal. And again, when you have players that get paid that much money, here's an idea. Why don't you get a team per se, and you say, okay, society, why don't you guys tell us how much you think these players are worth? So they do a game, and then so they have society, we'll call them. You send in, you text this number, how much you want to give to this number, whatever, and you get paid on performance. So kind of like American Idol, you dial 81718 and hit A, B, or C. It could be or you can put in amount or other. So some people so I mean I think if you're paid on performance, you'll perform better. So if I tell you, Sean, you know what? No matter what you do, bro, if you go into this game and you win or lose, I'm gonna give you $1 million. And you'll be like, sure, I don't care. So you might play. You might play hard. You might not. But if I say, you know what, Sean, if just for going to this game, I'm going to give you $10,000. But if you win, I'll give you $50,000. So that is an incentive for you to be like, oh, okay, well, I might want to step up my game a little bit.
Right.
And because again, I told you this story before. I was in a locker room, and I was interviewing a football player, and I will not say his name. And I, asked him about, how did this loss affect him, and we talked about the game and some of the mistakes that were made. And he laughed and snickered. And he said, you know what, brother? He goes, I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose because the paycheck that I get at the end of the week still has the same numbers on it. And then when I heard that,
Yes, sir.
I was like, all right. I mean, he had a point on that. But
Yeah.
again, that was arrogance, meaning he doesn't have to play that hard because he's going to get paid anyway. So anyway, we're going to take a quick break. We're at the bottom of the hour, and we will come back and talk Major League Baseball. We'll be right back. Hi, Ashley. Are you not talking? Huh? a hard one. You heard a hard one, huh? Oh! Yeah. That's a good one. Did they say that it could be because it wasn't formatted?
When I show you the video, we might need more than 8 gigs. Probably not to record in stereo, but
But how but did it start recording at all? How do you format it? Can you format it on there?
no.
How do you format? I've never formatted a thumb drive.
Okay, well maybe it's time to learn.
Mm.
Is
What I mean was
Is that doing it over and over there?
No.
Can you take a chair and prop that door over that? I was almost falling
I
asleep.
wouldn't take a chair and do it. Let them do it.
I did that last 2 times I was
I
here.
don't care. I'm not going to touch anything and put it anywhere because if someone trips on that, then it's on
I
you.
fold the door back. I put the chair, and I asked the bartender before.
I
and she said
understand
it was
that.
okay.
I understand that. But
This
All
guy,
right.
he got hella warm in here last time I was sitting there.
right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Epic Sports Radio. We are coming on our last segment, and we're coming at you live from the Grant Bar and Lounge here in Tracy, California. And this segment is brought to you by George Romansky. George Romansky is a mortgage lender, and he's going to be soon opening up his real estate business as well. Anything that you need as far as mortgage lending, this gentleman can take care of you. Now, I've heard him take care of people with credit scores of 580, and he can help with credit repair and whatnot, and he will get you a good rate as well on your mortgage loan. And you know what? Speaking of that, let me just say this. Okay, apartments. Here's what I think. Apartments. Say you pay $1,000 a month. Just say for the sake of math. So they should say, okay, say you're at the apartments for 5 years, so you pay $1,000 a month. So that's $60,000. So out of that $60,000, if you're on time and you stay with us for 5 years and you want to buy that apartment, then we will take part of that $60,000, half of that, and put it towards the principal. So say the apartment is, I don't know, $70,000, like a condo. So when you pay every month on your rent, half of that rent goes towards the principal,
Right.
and the other half just goes to the owner.
That could be an idea.
Yeah, so I think that'd be cool. Anyway, so let's now move on to Major League Baseball. So we have the Blue Jays, who Batista last night got back into action. And they were presently on a 5-game losing streak, so that was snapped. And the Giants are riding high on a 8-game winning streak. So the Giants tonight, we will get into that here in a minute. But the Cubbies are in town, and the Cubs actually have the best record in the league at 28-11. The Giants aren't too far behind, 25-18, so game kicks off at 7:15. And right here in town as well, you have the New York Yankees visiting the Oakland Athletics. Which, when the Athletics were in New York, they beat the Yankees like a unwanted stepchild. And
Sorry.
something that wasn't done in New York for 10 years. But anyway, the Giants, they hold a 3.5 game lead over interstate rival Dodgers. So, you know me, I'm from LA. I like the Dodgers, but I'm also, I'm a lifelong Yankee fan, but I'm a Dodger fan too. Last night I was watching the game, and lo and behold, as he always is, Ricky Henderson was there. He was all, because he's still working with the team, so he was all in A's gear. Reggie Jackson was there, talking with Ricky Henderson. Reggie Jackson had a New York Yankee hat on. Now, if you look on the top of the stands, you will see that Ricky Henderson's number is retired, and so is Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson is also known as. If you think of Reggie Jackson, what name comes to mind?
I'm drawing a blank. I know he played for both teams.
Mr.
Baseball?
No. Mr. October. Mr. October. So they were there talking. I thought that was cool. And Ricky played all the way up into his late 40s. I mean, even at the minor league level. I mean, this guy just loved to play the game. He is actually one of the very few players that actually loved to play the game and didn't chase the money.
Yeah.
Now, he won,
I mean, he made good money.
Oh, yeah, he made good
money. But
I mean, he won World Series, Yankees, the Blue Jays. So he was a Yankee for a while. And
he's also
yeah, that's where he started at. But now, so the Cubs, now they have a 28-11 record. They're pretty even, because usually you'll have a team that's good at home and not so good on the road. But at home, the Cubs are 14-6, and on the road they're 14-5. So when you have a team that is good on the road, I think that when they come into AT&T Park, that could scare the because when you went on the road, it kind of deflates the team a little bit that you're playing, because they're like, man, whether they're on the road or they're at home, they're still good. So tonight you have the Cubs take on the Giants. Now let me say one thing about the Dodgers. Let me say one thing. Have you ever been to Dodger Stadium to a baseball game?
No.
All right, you should go, because they have it looks like a menu. It's like a little thing on here. It'll have yellow, green, red, and blue. So when I first went there, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I want the tickets for the blue section, because they're like, no. That's not how it works. Because there's different prices. It could have been like 93, 75, 43, and 25. And so the way they do that there, they go, it depends on who they're playing on the price of the ticket. So if the Giants are in town, that $25 ticket all of a sudden becomes a $95 ticket. So that's the same way with the Cubs and everything. Now, if you look at the Giants, and because there are some nights that you can go to a Giants game and sit up in the upper deck, $12. Now, tonight against the Cubs, that $12 ticket, I guarantee you, is going to be more like $50.
And if you're like my girlfriend, you go find a deal, and she bought 4 tickets for $20 for section 310.
Giants?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What team?
We played. They played.
It's not we.
No, they played the A's.
Yeah, that's why it's $20. Who cares about the A's?
No, it was $20 for 4 tickets.
Exactly. Who cares about the A's? Dude, the A's couldn't even fill the stadium when they were in the playoffs, man. Now, I have to say this. When I was growing up, I mean, I wasn't necessarily an A's fan more than I was a Ricky Henderson fan. And I really liked, I saw him play more than once. And, but anyway, so the Cubs are coming in tonight to AT&T Park. So Arrieta is pitching. He is 7-0. He has a 1.29 ERA. Takes on Peavy, which I don't know why. Maybe the Giants pitching coach or maybe the head coach knows more than we do, because Peavy is 1-4 and his ERA is 7.43.
Well, I don't care. I wouldn't start anybody who has stats like that.
Not against a guy with a 1.29 ERA, I wouldn't. But it's going to be.
The Giants better bring the long ball sticks. They better be hitting some home runs.
Yeah, they better bring that long wood, man. Yeah. So get your mind out of the gutter, man.
But I didn't say anything.
But all right, so let me look at my little odds sheet here, and I'm going to pull up. For those of you people out there that bet, there's an app that you can get on your phone called iOdds, and it will give you the odds and everything to every game out there. So we're going to go to the Giants and the Cubs game. And why can I not find that? There it is. So you have now, oddly enough, you have the money line on the Cubs is they're favored. They're favored by 1.5 runs. So if you bet 100 on the Giants to win, you'll win 164 plus your 100 back. So you have the Cubs that are favored by 1.5 runs. Now, do you think? Again, I kind of make fun of you a little bit for being, schizophrenic, dyslexic, whatever you want to call it, because you like both the A's and the Giants. I know because hometown team, this, that, and the other. I've heard the stories. Now, don't bet with your heart. Bet with your mind, your brain. If I gave you that $50 that was up here earlier, and I said, I want you to put that money on what team you think is going to win, who would you bet that $50 on tonight?
Based upon who each team is playing?
No, on the Cubs and Giants right now, tonight. Cubs against the Giants.
Who would I put the money on?
Who would you put the money on?
On the Cubs.
Exactly. Now,
I'm gonna just bet. Honestly, I'm looking at who's pitching.
Exactly.
If you show me who's pitching, I'm like, crazier things have happened.
Right.
And teams have won, but on a pretty average basis, at least 75%, 80%.
Right.
When you see a 7-0 versus a 1-4, with ERAs that are so far apart, like 5.89 difference. Yeah, I'm going with the Cubs.
Well, the other day, Liverpool was playing for a championship, and they had a 99.1% chance of winning. So, and it's Liverpool, and you're thinking, oh yeah, for sure, Liverpool. The other team had a 0.9% chance of winning. The other team won. So that's what I'm saying. When you have stuff on paper, I mean, you got to look at stats and everything like that. So, so you've got, so they don't have any stats on it listed right now. But I don't know, man. The Cubs are hot this year, and the Giants are going through transitions. And let's talk about that here in a minute. But I want to bring up something. Okay, second baseman Odor, the Rangers, right?
Right.
Him and Batista, he punched Batista in the face. Now, there is this barbecue company in Fort Worth called Heim Barbecue. They are going to give Odor free barbecue for life. They also have T-shirts that say, I don't know how to say his name, Rougned, eats for free. So I tried calling them today, and they are in transition right now, and I left a message on one phone, and then I got on their Twitter, and then I went on their website, and I tried calling, and it didn't get me through, because I was going to ask them. But anyway, right now, as it stands, because they tweeted, I saw their tweet from their Twitter, it says, Odor eats barbecue for life. What do you think about that? Is that kind of rewarding bad behavior?
Well, it looks like rewarding bad behavior, and it shows that, in line with what I said, 8 games is too much. 8 games is too much, like we discussed before. 3 games would be fine, except they don't get paid for those 3 games.
Right.
So that would hurt much more.
So do you think maybe other teams will be like, well, someone posts up to me, then I'm going to punch him in the face because maybe one of these companies around here will give me something for doing that. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, the MLB will get in the middle of that and be like, look, if anybody thinks that's not going to happen, No,
Right.
We'll shut that down.
Right, but see, Texas, man, you guys are weird. And
You guys don't give a crap.
I lived in Houston for 2 years, and I lived in Austin for 5. And you know what Austin's theme? They sell these T-shirts everywhere. They have T-shirts that says "Keep Austin Weird," and you guys are weird, and in a good way. But anyway, I thought that was odd. So I am going to try and get a hold of these cats, and I even tweeted them. Let me check my Twitter real quick. I tweeted them even and asked them a question. I'm sure they're getting bombarded with tweets and whatnot. But let me see here. Twitter is giving me a hassle. Okay, so let me go and wait. No, that's my personal Twitter. Let's get to Epic News Sports Twitter. So let's see if they tweeted me that. And I just basically tweeted them. So are the rumors true? Does Odor get free barbecue for life? They didn't answer me yet. Their last tweet was 1 hour ago, and they went somewhere and said best meal I ever had. Oh, they retweeted somebody, and then someone says Hick barbecue. Okay, here's one. 5 hours ago, they tweeted today's. This was a voicemail from a Toronto number. It says, "You effing nasty hillbilly. Glad to see you Canucks have a sense of humor." So, someone from Toronto left them that.
My goodness.
Someone, John Atkins, John Atkin PR, asked a question to them, and the barbecue, Hemi Barbecue said, "Haha, started out as a joke amongst friends. I figured we could sell a few shirts. The response has been insane." So a marketing ploy.
I can see how they're using
Some people are saying there's going to be a special place in hell for you guys. And then someone said, "You're a moron, sucker punch, ? Did you even watch it?" So a lot of these people, and then people saying it's a joke, you idiot, get a sense of humor. So I will say this, but here's what SportsCenter said. It says the Texas barbecue joint offered Odor free barbecue for life after punching Jose Batista. And then they put that picture up. But anyway, but if it was a marketing, that's why I want to try and get a hold of them. If it was a marketing ploy, it's freaking working.
Yeah, everybody's hitting them up.
Mm-hmm.
And the restaurant was probably was probably slammed.
Funny thing is, it's a food truck. They started out as a food truck, and they're moving to a brick and mortar. And again, I couldn't get a number. I mean, I have a number, but I couldn't get through, so I don't know what's up.
Great way to get eyes on them, though.
Yeah, great way. So let me ask you this. Tim Lincecum. He signed a 1-year deal with, screw that. They're the freaking California Angels back in the day. But I'll just say the Angels. $2 million, 1 year with the Angels. So forget the second part of this. The first part, 1 year, $2 million. Do you think he's worth $2 million? $2 million, 1 year, $2 million.
I don't know, only pitching 76 innings.
No, forget that. Forget that part. So just go to as what you know about him right now. What would you pay him $2 million?
What's the league minimum?
It's like $575,000.
I don't know. I mean,
So
it
anyway,
depends on what role they have.
and I know it's but if you paid someone $2 million for 1 year, we'll just say working in an apple orchard, that's $5,479.45 per day. So now we can go on to the second part. He pitched 76.1 innings. Okay. Most of the guys on the Giants, on the starting pitching staff, we're talking like 250 innings, 175 innings. So 76 innings really isn't that much. So he had 35 earned runs, 7 home runs, 38 base on balls. 38 base on ball, 60 strikeouts, had a 7-4 record, ended with a 4.13 ERA. So, would you, as an owner of a baseball team, look at Tim Lincecum and say, "Hey, come play for," because the Angels are desperate for one right now. Would you pay this cat $2 million? And I'll tell you why they did this. But first, answer my question: would you pay Tim Lincecum $2 million with what you know right now? Now he is, he's a world champion. So, but would you pay him $2 million for 1 year?
Pay him $750,000. That's what I bet.
For 1 year.
Yeah.
All right.
It's above the league. It's above the league level. I don't think he's worth more than. I don't think he's worth $1 million.
I tell you what. Here's what I would do. I just pay him $1 million, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm going to make that $1 million back in merchandise sales and ticket sales, because people are going to buy more tickets to come watch him pitch. That's my theory. That's my theory. So
Well, I mean, you can also do this too. Pay him $750,000 and have a signing bonus of $250,000. I mean, he still gets his $1 million for the year, but on the books, for what you pay him for the season, it would show $750,000.
Okay. So, all right. So, but again, Lincecum, he could be hot or he could be cold. Most of the time, he was cold. He had some control issues. He would make some mistakes.
He pitched for a long time with the Giants.
He did.
A lot longer than I thought he would make it.
Yeah. He had his run. They had a lot of. Heck, even a couple years ago, Sergio Romo, and even last year, every time the guy came in for relief, he would give up a run. It was like clockwork. You bring him in, boom, give up a run.
Also, every other year, they were in the World Series.
Yeah.
So that could have been a reason why they let him stay, too. They were like, well, he's hot, he's cold, but he's a good player, and every other year we win a Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, you mean World Series?
World Series. 2010, 2012, 14.
Yeah.
And possibly even there. 16, the jury's out.
But you know what? Right now, where are they sitting? First place.
Right.
Boom. That's all that matters. Now, can they continue and stay hot? Now, there are some, especially like a team like Washington and a pitcher like Strasburg. Strasburg can only pitch so many innings, and then he's done. It doesn't matter. Last year, it was then they pull him out. So let's talk about last few minutes we got. Let's talk about last night's game. I was watching the game. Yankees was 1-0. It could have been 2-0, but Carlos Beltran, there was a ball hit to Reddick, and there was 2 outs, and it was a fly ball. And Beltran was looking, and he went back to second, and Reddick missed the ball, and he could have scored, but he didn't. So anyway, Reddick came in, hits a solo home run, ties the game up 1-1. I'm like, okay, here we go. So you move, and that was the 4th inning. So you fast forward to the 7th inning, and he's still second. So Reddick caught his thumb on Castro's spike while stealing second, fractured his thumb. So he's out minimum a month. So, he's a good player, and but I will say this, for all you River Cats fans out there, you will see him rehabbing in Sacramento. But I think that, not Sacramento, I'm sorry. I'm still thinking that they're with the A's. No, he won't be in Sacramento. I apologize. No, Reddick's he's a good player. And I think the A's are going to miss him, but I want to go back and I want to look at that replay, because catching your thumb on a dude's spike, that's bad. It's bad for them, but a fractured thumb. But see, a fracture could be anything. You can have a green stick fracture, you can have a hairline fracture, you can have a compound fracture.
Down here.
Yeah, you can have it in many different places. So, but anyway. the A's, again, they're kind of they're kind of like that old show back in the early '80s, maybe even late '70s, Land of the Lost. You know, remember the Slee Stacks and everything. It's kind of like the A's, man. They're kind of in the land of the lost right now. But last few minutes, let's kind of okay. Well, let's talk about that. The A's lost. So, do you think that the A's are going to lose to the Yankees tonight?
Who are the starting pitchers?
Of
Each team.
Okay. Well, you have Gray, very good pitcher for the A's, 1-0. Really, not that big of a deal. And Yankees, they are not showing that right now. But it is top of the second, 0-0. So anyway, I will have to look up the stats real quick and see who's pitching for the Yankees. But anyway, without knowing that, I mean, are you going for your?
I would go for, I just want to make sure that it wasn't lopsided like the Cubs-Giants setup.
Okay, well, you have CC Sabathia.
Oh, God. Dang it. And I had a feeling in my head. I was like, oh. And he's a big kid. He's a local boy. So,
But he's got an ERA of 3.68. And Sonny Gray is 5.72 ERA. But Sonny Gray is a good pitcher. I mean, CC could be hot or cold, man. I mean, he's got that little bit of a pause in his release. But I will say this: he has lost some weight, and so you know what? When people sneeze, why do they say "bless you"? Why? Why don't they say
nice gesture. Bless you.
Why? I'm not a priest. I'm not gonna bless you. I might say cheeseburger next time you sneeze. Anyway.
I'll say if the A's hit tonight, if they hit CC, if CC's not hot.
Yankees 4-1 over the A's. Period. 4-1. Same score as last night. 4-1. Loser.
5-3 A's if they get off.
If they get off.
If they get off and hit the ball off CC.
Yeah.
And get them out early.
Get off on the balls. Yes, exactly. So I'll tell you, but it's not going to happen. But hey, you go ahead and live in your little fantasy world. But all right, any last words of wisdom? Any things you want to say before we get out of here?
Well, have we mentioned our friends today?
No, I don't know.
You guys okay?
No, we have not.
Is that okay?
It's your shout out. Go ahead.
Mention Boys from Connected. Adam Saeed, Tommy Hall. They help parolees with give them a second chance, give them a place to work, they give them a place to live.
All the weed they can smoke.
They created a connected clothing company to help support the movement. You can go to connectedapparel.com and check them out and learn more about it.
All right, and again, you guys out there, you can all social media. You could follow us at Epic News Sports. We are going to be here next week again with Jasper Macaro. Check it out. He's going to be on panel. We're going to be back at the Grant Bar and Lounge here in Tracy. Nobody yet, because I got to go and see who joined. So again,
if I want to join as my girlfriend, let me take it.
By midnight, we'll see. Anyway, so we will catch you guys next week. We'll be here from 5 to 7. We're going to be at the Sergeant Peppers in Fairfield Sunday. We're going to be interviewing exclusively Data 5000, the gentleman who fought Kimbo Slice. See you next week. Peace out. Down with the horns. See you later.
All right, man. I have never heard of formatting a dadgum USB. All right, let's break this puppy down.
Every time you say
DJ,
dadgum, I think it's an old guy with dadgum.
What?
DJ is coming.
All over himself?
Yeah, garbage. Sons, bitches.
Let's see if we can beat our 28 minutes.
No, we beat that. We beat that last week.
Oh yeah,
Last week was like 14 minutes. Killed it.
please.